This may or may not work. Rise and shine, everybody. Welcome to my 5 a.m. stream. That's right, I think we decided this button doesn't actually make it any louder. I'm just gonna have to sit uncomfortably ASMR style close to the fucking mic. You guys will have to be patient with how the stream does. It always fucks up all the time. YouTube is dedicating way too much, bandwidth or processing per two, and making sure that anyone with thought crime opinions can't stream. So being a thought terrorist, no data now. Really interesting. Pretty sure it's still streaming. Hey, look at that, it is. Yeah, it's still streaming, all right. Lying little cunt. There comes McAfee to skull fuck me. And now the stream is good. Now it's good health. Here's the good health. There you go. Just like grandma in the hospital. You gotta unplug her and plug her back in to make her work. I think that's what they say, right? Anyway. Well, King K. Ripple is the only commenter so far, and he says, morning from the UK, Tolstoy. Must be early as shit where you are. Yes, it is very early. It is 5:26 in the morning. This is actually sleeping in for me. Wanted to make a stream to get you guys on the same page, but the thing is like, I haven't had any time, and specifically the times that I have, if I was going to do a stream later in the evening, how is it morning where you are? Oh, maybe it's like 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. If I was going to do a stream later in the evening, I'd probably want to have a few beers, and I haven't been drinking for the past 3 or 4 weeks because I started my new job, and I'm trying to keep on top of it, and I've been having to keep my sleep hygiene 100% on. I had to keep my I had to have it on lock. So, essentially, I have been going to bed. I went to bed at 10 p.m. That, goddamn. So this is sleeping in for me. I would usually be on the road by now. I'd be halfway to my job, literally. And, decided I would, even on the days that I'm off, I'm going to, obviously try to keep my sleep hygiene impeccable, because I really, really need to keep this position. This is, things are still going to be rocky, I guess, is one of the things that I wanted to say. Financially, for now, but seeing what I make, definitely put a smile on my face. And in a few months, if the entire world hasn't collapsed, there could be actual videos that aren't just me bitching on stream. I promise. If you're wondering what I'm drinking while I'm waiting for my coffee to cool down, I found these crappy little seltzer waters that have no sugar, but just like natural flavor. They're like LaCroix or whatever, but they're called bubbly. My mom turned me onto them, and I can drink like a case of these, but they help with sobriety. We have Faulty videos saying, good morning, sir. Good morning, Faulty. Welcome to the stream. You are one of like 5 people who are actually here right now. The average watch time is a minute. coffee cools down quick. Because I need that. And after I'm going to drink a couple cups of coffee, and I'm probably going to go to the gym. Oh, I got to call and get health care. That's right. God, there's so much bullshit I got to take care of. Just waiting for people to leave comments and get a conversation going. Might look at my Facebook feed and look at freaking news stories, man. Obviously, nothing good has been going on in the news. It's been getting crazier and fucking crazier. And now YouTube is deciding that it's gonna error again. Are you for real, motherfucker? Is this actually what we're doing? I don't think this is what we're doing. I'm gonna get my phone real quick. Got it charging over here. And obviously the reason why I'm being quiet is that my brother is still sleeping because it's 5:30 fucking a.m. Bong answers in. He says, a rare night stream. Oh boy. It's not nighttime, it's morning. Oh, well, I guess I don't know where you are. Yes, it is early morning for me. This is actually past when I wake up now. So everything has been reset. Churchill Bhatia says, lost my job, back on the job hunt. Wish me luck, TKE. Yeah, you get all of my all of my prayers and voodoo, man. I was looking for a job for months, and it was a scary ass fucking time. But thankfully, God is good. All that good shit. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I actually recently, just like a couple days ago, while on my new job, got an email from one of the prestigious places that I applied to, that had early on in the game 3 months ago sent me an email saying, "Oh, and by the way, we're looking at your fuck. Sorry, it's early and I haven't had coffee. Coffee. It's really hot and I have it in. It's hot coffee. I have it in this this mug here. What are those things called? Exploders? Hissers? Creepers. Anyway, I received an email from them saying, oh, well, hey, sorry, we were reviewing you for 3 fucking months, but as it turns out, we're not going to give you the job. And I'm just sitting here thinking, like, did that seriously take you 3 months to tell me no? Like, I'm already working somewhere. Fuck you. Beyond 87 says, thoughts on Tsushima. I have not looked at reviews. Honestly, I've been busy with The Last of Us. I finished number 2. I still have very, very subtle thoughts on it. I don't really know. People have a reason to be angry, but I think that there was a bit of a crowd reactionary, thing going on. And honestly, the game's not that bad. I actually really enjoyed it. However, and the long and the short of it, the easiest way that I can sum up the way that I feel about Last of Us Part 2 is it's like Metal Gear Solid 5, which, if you recall, I refused to play for like years after it came out because I considered it an affront to the Metal Gear series. Like, you all forget how angry I was about that, and I kind of stand on it. The gameplay was amazing, but the story was dog shit, and it really didn't do better for the series than if they just left it the fuck alone. But like Aliens Resurrection, I guess it's fun that it's in there. It's not, even if it's not canon, or if it is canon, I don't know. That's up to you. Like, take what you like, put away what you don't like, and that's what I did with Last of Us 2. But I still have a very subtle opinion about it, and I don't know if I really have I don't really know if I have the grace to articulate what it is I feel about that. But I started going through The Last of Us Part 1 again, and then I'm going to replay Last of Us Part 2. I'm just really on that zombie apocalypse, kick. That's what I need right now. It's what's me sane. That and a lot of specialty. But oh, good, we jammed. We jamming? What are we doing here? No data. Okay. Don't worry, McAfee's just skull fucking me. If I could find where these McAfee people are and break their kneecaps, I fucking would. Fucking McAfee cocksuckers. You ain't protected. I'm gonna fucking break your goddamn kneecaps. Go, your knees are protected, faggot. Sorry about that. Anger is gone. Hydrator. This fucking shit. This fucking shit. I don't care about any of that. Okay. Good, good. Looks like we got it back. So I guess it's, you gotta jiggle the handle. That's technology. Yeah, that's real life, It's not made up bullshit. They're not totally they're not trying to totally alter the narrative. Yeah, okay. Bongmancer says, how's the new job treating you? Pretty good. I'm liking it so far, other than the fact that I'm working insanely long hours and insanely early hours, 10-hour shifts, and apparently we're going to be moving to 8 on, 6 off. I think I have a 3-day weekend. I have to call them. This is the first day of my 3-day weekend, I assume. It doesn't matter. All I'm going to be doing is getting up early and working out. Like, I just need to kind of keep my nose to the grindstone, which is why I'm really enjoying the whole, survival themes of Last of Us. I mean, I always did. But when you're in a situation like this, it kind of helps. I wish there was more stuff like that. I might go back and replay Resident Evil 2. We shall see. Resident Evil 7 was also fucking dope. I could replay that. Beyond 87 says, Tolstoy, your hair is looking better. Maybe try a fade on the sides. Ladies like the fresh-looking cut. No homo. You're not the first person to tell me to get a fade. This is, what do you mean my hair's this is like me rolling out of bed. This is bedhead, bro. I don't know, man. The other thing is that, I don't know, hang on. Waiting for the stream to fuck up again because, the juice. I don't know. The other thing is that I don't really give a shit what women want. I'm not Mel Gibson, man. I don't give a shit what women want. I had a conversation. Ironically, I'm wearing this collared shirt that was given to me by a friend after I visited him and his wife in Rhode Island or whatever, and we were having this conversation. He was like, "Well, just wear collared shirts because I notice all you do is like wear T-shirts and shorts and stuff like that. Women like that better. He's very experienced in that, in the art of seduction and all that good stuff. Yeah, well, the issue is that all I do is run and work out for the most part. And the thing is like, I kind of don't really give a shit, I mean, at this point, if there is some perfect little unicorn out there that's perfect for me, then, like, that bitch needs to find my ass and needs to, needs to make herself known to me. And, if we're going to a wedding or some shit, yeah, I'll put on the fucking collared shirt and shave. But other than that, recognize that I'm a filthy fucking animal. You know what I'm saying? Like, Straussiani says, what are your thoughts on living life? Looks like, I think he meant living life in the third person. I don't know. You mean, like, narrating my own life? So, like, I'm going to be driving to work, and I'm going to be like, he was going to work in the dark. And also, Faulty Video says, Frozen? Like, you talking about the stream? Yeah, it's because, they're trying to keep it, oh, fuck. And there it is. I should have taken a picture of it, goddamn. The average watch time was stuck at a number that has been haunting me. And that's a weird story, and I don't know how to explain it, but I've been seeing a number pop up over and over again. Everywhere. Spray painted on buildings. Oh, that's good coffee. I'm actually developing a taste for coffee. I still like energy drinks better, but something nice about coffee. Straussiani says, I've watched you since the Airsoft days. Oh, man. Well, hopefully I'll be able to make more gun videos for you quite soonly. Not Airsoft guns, real guns. I know that YouTube doesn't like that. That'll make me bad. When that new check hits, I need to invest heavily in a better weapon system because my AK has a possible problem where it might explode. I mean, these things happen. Oh, yes, wonderful, delicious. Yes. What was I going to say? Anyway, among other things, I've got a lot of stuff I've got to review, and if I'm 8 days on but then 6 days off, I will have the time to do it, and I will also have the money to do it. So, but it might take a couple months, and honestly, the world might be coming to an end soon. But hey, I always think that. Gandalf the Green Lantern says, I'm from the UK and you woke up before me. God damn. That sucks. I'm sorry to hear that you're from the UK. God damn. Straussiani says, are you still into the gun life? Yeah, of course. I mean, I never really was about the gun life in the sense that, like, it's not something that I actually... Spending money on guns and training in it, to me, it's a chore, I would prefer to spend the money on climbing gear and camping gear, but it's something that we do to, keep ourselves safe. It's something that we do in case the shit hits the fan, and it's looking like it might soonly do that, therefore. Slade Anderson says, I'm in bed half asleep watching Scooby-Doo. What the fuck are you? Are you a grown-ass man watching Scooby-Doo? What the fuck, son? Not Sans. Okay, he's not Sans. Says, go the fuck back to sleep. Nope. It's not 10 p.m. yet, so it's not my bedtime. This is when I get up. Welcome to it. Bomb answers says, are you working today, Tolstoy? Nope, this is my first day off. And then Sir Blumpkin refers to me as everyone's favorite leprechaun. Yeah, they're after me Lucky Charms. Beyond 87 says, Last of Us 2 was solid. Not as good as the first, but really good. The direction they took the story was a bold choice, but it worked. They told the story of human life. Nobody comes out a winner. Yeah, I see that. I see that they tried to make it... But the problem is that they try to take it in a... If you try to argue that what they did... Well, the... People have a right to be angry because of the way that they handled certain characters. Now, I tried to reason with my reason and say, well, they were going for a slightly more realistic edge this time, which, even more realistic and brutal than the first one. They were trying to show that, human life can end very abruptly in that kind of world, and they show that with more than just one character. But the issue here is, yeah, well, then they turn, then they turn around and they have, a pregnant woman on the front lines. And I'm just like, so are we going for realism or wacky clown world? Which one is it, Druckmann? And, yeah, he's trying to push a narrative. And I can understand why people don't want that shit in their beloved gaming series. I happen to be able to, but... I thought about it, and I was like, well, what's your other favorite gaming series? And I thought, well, Metal Gear Solid. And I was like, do you like Kojima's Robo Dildo Ninja A-Go-Go? And I'm like, no, I don't. And I ignored the shit out of that. I just did the same thing. It's like Metal Gear Solid 4, every time Raiden goes like, yeah, right, gotta go fast, yeah. You know what I mean? I'm just like, oh, okay. No. I read a book, I wait for it to be over, and then when it gets back to Solid Snake being a brooding... fucking emo killer, I'm just like, much better. Much fucking better. Among other things. It's mostly, yes, the story is terrible for a Last of Us game, but, Metal Gear Solid 3 was terrible for a Metal Gear Solid game, and Metal Gear Solid 3 is one of the best games ever made, so... Last of Us 2 is good. Is it worthy of being called the sequel to one of the greatest games of all time? Abso-fucking-lutely not. But these things fucking happen. And if I'm able to get over, what they did to Metal Gear Solid 5, even Metal Gear Solid 3, and I'm still not okay with that, That's something that like, and of course all the soy boys are gonna soy face or cuck face for Metal Gear Solid 3 because I remember playing it at like 17 and I'm just like, what the fuck? This plot, like, who are these bosses? B-Man? Like, you're not gonna get past that. We're not gonna, you know what I mean? Like, fucking Metal Gear Solid 2 had, a dude who was like a Romanian psychopath who had to drink the blood of his family to survive and shit like that. Metal Gear Solid 1 had some like Chechnyan rebel who said like more and more of her family she woke up every morning were dead during a civil war. You know what I mean? And Metal Gear Solid 3, bees! It's literally just fucking, Nick Cage. Just Nicolas Cage and just going, not the bees! That's Metal Gear Solid 3. I want to remind you. But fucking retards love it because like explosions. So, if I can get past Metal Gear Solid 3, if I can get past Metal Gear Solid 5, I can get past the issues with The Last of Us 2 and just enjoy the gameplay, which is better than the previous game. Which was the truth of Metal Gear Solid 3, Metal Gear Solid 5. Yes, they had superior gameplay. Their stories were shit. Such is life when you play video games. Not Sand says, try Days Gone, good dystopian survival game. I've already played it, and I've actually already been repping it out ever since day one. And what's interesting is that, so Last of Us, that's the one thing. So Last of Us ripped off a shit ton from Days Gone. The character of Dinah, or whatever, she's a lesbian seagull. She literally looks just like a character who is a lesbian from Days Gone. Except for she's nowhere near as cool, as well developed as that character. You know what I mean? It's like so much of it. I'm just like, did you guys just rip this off blatantly? Like, so I feel like Neil Druckmann's like, so this time Ellie can handcraft a suppressor for her. Yeah, they did that in Days Gone. She's gonna fight an evil cult. They did that in Days Gone. Except for the cult in Days Gone was actually interesting. You know what I mean? The cult in Last of Us is literally just evil white man is bad because he's conservative. Ugh. Like, the cult in Days Gone was fucking the Rippers. You know what I mean? Yeah, get low, asshole. That was fucking cool. And not to mention, it already included that whole element of, like, revenge and people that you knew before the fall. So, it was just done better. So, honestly, I put Last of Us 2 up there near Days Gone. I'm not sure which one I like better, because Days Gone does kind of have a stupid, sappy ending that I thought was really not. Beyond 87 says, the proportion of your faux hawk is the sweet spot. I'm just saying that you have a potential to have a sharp haircut. I just hate for something like that to go to waste. I know, but it already went to waste. It went to waste a long fucking time ago. Ah, fuck, I need to climb. Ooh, oh, God. Oh, man. There we go. Ooh. Oh, that stretch was an orgasm. Yeah, man, it already went to waste a long fucking time ago. I don't know. Sorry to explain. Besides which, I think what I really need to do is lose fucking weight. Which I'm bloody try. Okay. They're gonna try to fuck my stream up again, aren't they? Yeah. Aren't they? Yeah, you little cocksuckers. That's right. You censor anyone that you don't like. That's right, you little cocksuckers. Yeah, you're a bunch of fucking faggots. Ain't you? Yeah, Susan Wojcicki. I'm gonna fucking... Oh yeah, you're a little faggot, ain't you? You're a little fat girl. That's right. Yeah, you're probably a bunch of fucking pedophiles, ain't you? You little faggots. Gandalf the Green Lantern says, do you have a morning routine? Any tips that help you wake up apart from coffee? No, just the absolute fear of disappointing these people at my job that I really want to keep. So as soon as I hit that, as soon as I hear that alarm, which I set several alarms, and I set my phone on my desk, so that way I can't just reach over and tap the off button. But gotta get into a really good sleep routine. Never use your bed for anything other than a bed. So that's one of the greatest sleep hints that I've ever picked up is you train your body to, if you sit in bed read the news in bed on your phone, watch TV in bed, eat in bed. You're teaching your body that your bed is a chair and that it's not necessarily time to go to sleep. So if I want to wake up slowly with morning coffee, hot coffee, what I'll do is I'll go out and sit on the couch and I'll read my phone. You cannot, if you do the opposite and you wake up, and I used to do that, wake up slowly in your bed, you are teaching your body that the bed is also a chair, and it confuses it. So you want it so that when you put your head down on that bed, your body is like, oh, I know what we're doing. We're fucking going to sleep. So never use your bed as a chair, which actually, that kind of casts a bad shadow of doubt over my setup of using a hammock for camping and whatnot. As both a kind of a reclining chair, and also that's probably why I can't sleep in that hammock. Oh well. Anyway, Bonemancer says that number thing is the universe trying to tell you something. Okay, like legitimate. I have seen it. I've seen it pop up. I had pictures, but I had to reboot my phone, or I had to factory reset it because it's filthy Chinese, usurious technology. And ultimately, I saw it I keep seeing it everywhere. I saw it yesterday. It's every time that I glance at the clock, it's a 3-digit number. So I just don't think it would be all that likely that it would show up this often. But I keep looking up the meaning. I've tried finding, is it a street number that I should look for? Is it the amount of, I don't know. And I keep, seeing it, you know what I mean? I get charged it, you know what I mean? When I go to a grocery store, it just keeps on fucking popping up. And I literally saw it spray painted on the side of a building in Rhode Island, so I don't know. I don't know what it means. But I'm trying not to be a schizo about it, so I'll take my meds. The Milkman says, sup, brah. Sup, Milkman. The Real Jimmy says, get an AR-15 or an Arsenal AK. Yeah, I'm going to get an Arsenal AK. I'm not an AR-15 kind of guy. Yeah, so that's the issue, is that you should be able to buy a cheap AK. They're cheap to produce. That doesn't fucking make any sense. They're a Soviet weapon that's 80 years old in design. That's what really pisses me off about the AK, is that I was essentially talked into it, and I thought, well, it won't be as accurate, but at least it'll be reliable and rugged, and it doesn't cost as much. That is fucking wrong. It is reliable and rugged, but obviously, the Century Arms, they just found another problem, that the carrier can sometimes also blow up. And ironically, I started watching, when I was playing Last of Us 2, I recognized Abby's rifle. Well, I didn't really, I had to look it up, and as it turns out, I got super fucking excited and then super fucking pissed off. So, what Abby carries is it's a style of AK. It uses an AK receiver, a hammer forged reinforced barrel. All of it is actually much stronger and more reliable than, because it has to be, because it's chambered to take the .308. It's called the Vepr, which is Russian for boar. And it's a semi-automatic kind of, hunting rifle. They're not super accurate, but, whatever. .308 it's a battle rifle. It's essentially an attempt to make an AK battle rifle, which is cool. So I looked it up and was like, oh, look, they're like $900. That's not terrible. Yeah, I wonder if I could replace my shitty AK with, oh, they don't import them into America. Why not? I don't understand what the reasoning is. You can get an AK pattern rifle in America, but there's all these weird fucking usurious bullshit, liberal tricks that one has to pull in order to just get a well-made AK. And it ends up being super expensive. I think it's honestly just because gun manufacturers maybe lobby, and they're, they only want nice, shitty plastic, soy boy rifles to make into America. They don't want, the Israeli Galil to be something that I can get my hands on, because it'll push them out of the market. So instead, they make it so that, you can only get an American-made AK, and there's, one company that does it, and apparently they make them out of, plexiglass and, rubber bands and shit like that. So, that's absolute dog shit. Fucking whatever. The Milkman says, what time is it over there? Right now, it's 6 o'clock, 6 a.m. Beyond 87 says, Motherfucker calls it is short for is Stoy. That's pretty great. Stoy, you've been teasing us with a new plastic crap review since the beginning of the quarantine. I'm just saying. Yeah, I've also, like, I'm down to my last dollar. Like, I slid this shit into home. Like, again. And yes, that's including the money that I got from you guys on Patreon. I let that shit roll over for months until I had $250. You think that I didn't want to spend that shit on a backpack or a new gun or something that, I would have really liked, and then I could have reviewed it or whatever? Yeah, that's not how that turned out. I had to spend it on rent. But in a couple of months, I'll probably be able to bankroll some pretty cool shit, assuming that the world doesn't go to shit. Right now, unfortunately, I'm also kind of focused on, I think the world might be going to shit. And I think if we talked about those reasons, the stream would probably get shut down by the shadow people, the reptilians. So, gotta be careful about that. Fuck me, man. Nature Nerd 1000 says, is this early or late stream? Good morning. It's an early stream. Slade Anderson says, maybe, why not both? Thoth says, Guten Tag, everything jumped in the house is jumping. He says, Guten Tag, mein Kameraden. I think that means, like, comrade. In which case, I'll say Guten Tag. Nature Nerd 1000 says, are you thinking about trying BitChute? BitChute is the future, definitely, defiantly the YouTube. Yes, I am. I am actually thinking. I already signed up for BitChute, and the problem is that I'm afraid of when I'm going to wheel that out, because every time that I've tried to get everyone to herd over, they have just, opened their mouths and made loud soy boy shrieking because they just can't. They can't go against big tech. They have to suck big, throbbing, big tech cock, and they can never bite the hand that slaps because they're little faggots. So, fuck it. And again, my priorities are one. Look at that. And as soon as I talk about big tech, YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Aren't you cute? The Real Jimmy says, set up Streamlabs for donos. I don't know how to do that. Thoth says, down with Susan. A pox on the false pretender. Restore YouTube to its former glory. It'll never happen, bro. It'll never fucking happen. We're just going to have to go to BitChute. I know. There are already several things that I found on BitChute, and I was like, oh, wow, you can't see this on YouTube. Nice. And I've been watching them, so. Churchill Batia says, I keep seeing 111 often. Interesting. Yeah. Gandalf the Green Lantern says, I get that with 23, but it's probably quite a common number, really. What's that weird Jim Carrey movie about it? Yeah, that was a good movie, by the way. Except for I hate Jim Carrey. But otherwise, it was a good movie. So the issue is that, but that's a two-digit. This is 3 digits that don't repeat. It's 3 separate numbers in a row, in a specific row, and I keep seeing it fucking everywhere. Usually when I, look at clocks, but the thing is I'm not trying to. I just look up and see it, and I'm like, there it is. Bongmaster says, what I've looked up on the number pattern thing is that it meant that you're going in the right direction. That could mean the right direction in life, or at the moment where you're going to. Yeah, ironically, it kind of said the same thing to me, too. You know what I mean? I looked it up on a bunch of schizo websites. Were like, that's your secret angel number, and it's because you're... And I'm like, okay, whatever, bro. Cat bus, da-na-na-na-na, says F. Neil Cuckman. Oh no, Neil Cuckman. That's great. Like Neil. Like not Neil as in fat Neil, but kneeling down. The Real Jimmy says, get a good Arsenal AK, bro, with a lot of 7.62 and good Circle 10 mags. The fuck are Circle 10 mags? Bro, I have 30 mags. Get Soviet mags. This is North Carolina. I can do whatever the fuck I want. The Real Jimmy says, I found one for you if you want a good price for an Arsenal. Well, let's hold off on the car wash because, until that check comes in, until I get my second Big Daddy Trump bucks, I can't make any moves. Again, I am still poor for now. King K. Ripple says, that number thing that you sounds like a combination bias, like you'd seen the number a few times before by pure coincidence, and now your brain notices it whenever it occurs instead of any other number. But the issue is that I'm not digging for it. I'm not going oh, okay, so it's this minus that plus that would equal a number. Like, it's physically just those three numbers, and they show up everywhere, and it's always in that order. Like, the thing is, I would have noticed it before because the number has specific meaning to me. It's like, one time I had a credit card that had the, when I was buying something, some dude turned over my card to get the weird confirmation code on the back, and he's like, oh, that's the number of original Pokemon. You know what I mean? So, like, I would recognize 151. You know what I'm saying? If I saw it anywhere, like, I play that game a lot where I see cool numbers and I go, nice. You know what I mean? Like, if I usually, like, to say, if it's 5:56 in the morning, I always go, 8 o'clock. If I see 308, I'm like, 308. You know what I mean? I have never seen this number appear so many goddamn times over and over again. You know what I mean? Let's just say it was 556. No, because that repeats a number. 357. We'll say it's 357. I don't want to say what the number really is. But if you just went everywhere seeing 357, like, it's the strangest fucking thing in a burst of three, you know? Gandalf the Green Lantern says, I think the brain is predisposed to superstition, so filling it with a little bit of belief about the significance of 23, whether it actually is real or not, is kind of useful in a way. But the thing is, I'm not looking for that kind of solution, though. I'm not really a superstitious person. I just think it's weird. It's more or less what is the random probability of it showing up this much? Once, what do they say? Once is a happenstance, 2 is a coincidence, 3 is fucking weird, or some shit like that. And it's just, I keep on talking to a friend of mine about it, and I keep showing her, like, I take pictures of it when I see it, and I send it to her, and I'm like, why am I, there it is again. And I haven't even documented all of it. It's just really strange. Like, the thing is, I wouldn't have noticed, because, like, it's, the numbers are part of a thing that I always, like, maybe, like, say, my zip code, or, like, my credit card number, or, like, whatever, or like my employee number or some shit like that. Like, a number that I see and use every single day, but only in one context, is now showing up in a bunch of contexts. Again, I don't think that it's really anything magical. I just think it's really fucking interesting. The Real Jimmy says they are 30-round mags. All right, well, you said 10 circle mag. I don't know what that is, but I'm going to get Magpul. Oh. 132 Oink says Circle 10 mags are Romanian manufacturer mags. Then we probably can't get them here in America. I don't know what to tell you. Because anything that's good gets banned. Anything that isn't the soy AR, soy 15 gets banned. I actually went to go look for AK mag carriers before, when I thought the Rona was going to be worse than it really was. And I went to the local, the town that's associated with Fort Bragg, which is the biggest military installation in the fucking world. Literally in the world. And I remember going into, like, 3 or 4 different, like, military shops, and I don't know what I expected. But, it was like, if you ever see, there's a really cool parody of Stuck in the Closet by Weird Al Yankovic called Stuck in the Drive-Thru. And there's a part where he's just, like, repeating drive-thru over and over again, and he's just like, now we're going to the drive-thru, coming up on the drive-thru, now we're here at the drive-thru, pulling line in the drive-thru, did I mention the drive-thru? And I feel like that was my quest to find, AK mag holsters, and it was just like, have you heard of the M4? All we got is the M4. Do you know about M4? All our shit is for M4, M4. Like, because it's the American military, rifle. So that's their deal. Like, North Carolina is nothing but sand and mud and high amounts of humidity. B, I'm not getting an AR-15. If the shit pops off, good luck. I'm not, like, being hyperbolic and saying, oh, it's gonna jam if a bit of dust gets in there. But, like, bro, I know me. I know me, dude. So, but unfortunately, a good AR should not, or a good AK should not cost more than an AR-15. It's literally usury that's being done by the American gun manufacturing market because they're cocks who can't create anything better. Honestly, like, the M14 is probably... What was the M14 chambered in? Well, then the M1 Grand, whatever. I just want an open bolt system. That was a weird sound. Oh, birds are finally waking up. I heard that bird make a weird noise. I was like, Jesus. Bongmancer says, yeah, it's pretty schizo. Me and my friends sometimes see pattern numbers for a few days, but then they stop. Funny enough, they happen when we are in doubt if we are doing the right thing or going the right way. It's pretty weird as fuck. The universe, bro. You're stepping out of the Matrix, T. Maybe, man. I've been seeing it for months now. And at first I didn't say anything to anybody, but then I started, like, it came up so fucking often that I was like, okay, like, I just saw it in the stream. It was one of the numbers that I'm seeing here on my analytics screen, and it was only there for half a second, and then it clicked to something else, and I was like, okay, well, I looked up at the exact moment that it was a 3-digit fucking number that matches the fucking number. I'm like, okay, that's weird. Everything bumped, and the house was bumping. The Nature Nerd 1000 says, the U.S. is about to have 400 million guns in a few months thanks to everything going on. Yep. And that's another thing, is I don't know if I'll be able to get a gun because the demand is so high. And what's weird is that I read an article the other day saying that Remington Firearms is filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Which, what the fuck is that about? Amid an all-time high demand for firearms, Remington's going under? That sounds strange. However, what I thought was cool was that Remington has been looking to sell. Unfortunately, deals fell through with the Navajo Nation, and I'm like, dude, that's amazing. I would love Remington Firearms to be owned by the Navajo. Please make that a thing. Jesus, Navajo, just buy the goddamn guns. And then I'll buy the guns from you. 132 Oink says, I got this stream out of nowhere, to be honest. Didn't know who this was until I browsed the channel and saw the Katana review video. So, like, what? You liked one of my videos a million years ago and YouTube just suggested it to you? I don't get it. Thoth says, the number is 151 is telling you to drink Bacardi. Yeah. Well, see, if the number had kept popping up, but it didn't. I'm just using that as an example of, I do see fun patterns in numbers, and I don't apply schizo meaning to them, but they never show up this much. You know what I'm saying? It's like, anytime I got like a, because I used to work a register. I worked fucking retail. And every time that I saw, the total 357, I'd go, nice. If I saw 556, I'd go, nice. If I saw 308, I'd go, nice. Put in insert meme of the guy who reviews MREs. Let's get this on a tray. Nice. But I've just been seeing this random fucking number, like, over and over again. Like, way more than I usually see any number. I'm sure it's just a coincidence, but, like, I'm also willing to believe in some level of superstition stuff, only because the universe is way stranger than we think it is, and a lot of my life experiences, both on and off of acid, have convinced me of something bigger than myself that's out there. 132 Oink says, if you saw 23, means you need to dunk on them, like Michael Jordan. The fuck? I can't dunk on anyone. I'm 5'5". Beyond 87 says, Stoy, you're intelligent. I've heard you ramble on about obscure stuff in detail many times. You'll be able to figure out Streamlabs. It's simple. I would love to give you donations now and then. Well, you can just go to my Patreon. I've already got it set up. This is the most amount of energy I can expend. I'm just kidding. I'll look into it. Again, I'm going to work on the channel when I get time. Like, I just haven't had time in the longest time. Time. We don't have time to talk about time. This is not the time. We're running out of time. I haven't been able to because I've been trying to get a job and deal with crushing depression and suicidal ideation. But now I have a job. It's really fucking demanding, but it pays really well. I might be able to move out of this slum. Don't know what I'll do then. I want to build a shipping container house. Gandalf the Green Lantern says, or bend it like Beckham. I don't know who that is. The Real Jimmy says, no, Magpul mags are trash. Lol, get Circle 10. They're good. Just look them up. Magpul is not bad. Or am I thinking of... I can't remember what I have in my AK right now. 132 Oink says, really need to shop online then. Tim Taylor says, was good Tolstoy. How's the new job going? Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Coming along. It's a lot of responsibility, though. I think I'm doing pretty well. I haven't got anyone killed yet. Coffee. So having a square cup is cute, but in reality, it actually poses a lot of challenge. It's like, where do I sip from? Delicious. Oh, here we go. Probably have another cup of coffee. Head off to the gym. Try to get my heavy. Let's put it this way. I've been working so much. You know how much I love the gym. Leading up to this job, I did not take a rest day for 3 weeks. I worked out back to back to back to back, doing my bro split. Started throwing in some cardio days too. Because I'm a little fat girl. I took off the last 2 days because I just got home from a 10-hour shift and I was like, can't do it. And I poured some special tea, played some Last of Us, tried to get some sleep. The majority of the nights I'm getting about 6.5 hours. This night, because this is my day off, I slept in, so I got 7 hours. I'm not making this up. This is my life now, doo-doo. The Real Jimmy says 762 by 51 is what the M14 shoots. Okay, then why does everyone talk shit about the M14? That's a very powerful cartridge. Am I thinking of something else? I'm thinking of the M1A1. The M14 was okay. Yeah, there you go. And the fucking M14 is better than the AR. Like, everyone can fuck off. 132 Oink says, you can buy a PSA AK for 500. Yeah, well, I bought this one for 650, and it's apparently a gun bomb. You know? Fuck, the Real Jimmy says, PSA AKs are sold out. Great. Thoth says, you're Neo, break out of the Matrix. Wish I could, man. But unfortunately I can't because of them. Everything jumped. Oink says, Remington going under to no innovation and very bad quality control. Interesting. 132 says, yes, stream was recommended out of nowhere. Well, that's interesting because usually YouTube attempts to suppress me. They're like get comments all the fucking time. People going, I didn't know you were still making videos. I'm subscribed to you. And then they check and they're like, oh no, I'm not subscribed to you. What happened? And I'm like, yeah, what fucking happened? Well, I have the thought crime. You know, I am Das Juden, so that's how that works, you know. Okay. He's like, you know why, because you're Jap, so it sucks, alright. Beyond 87 says, Patreon limits me to $30. I'm trying to be a baller here. God damn, bro. Jesus. Okay, just do that. That's 30 is way too fucking much. How much do you want it? No, it doesn't. I've literally had people give me $100 on Patreon. Try again, think again, do it again. And another one. Thoth says, man, shipping container houses are the way to go. Spend all the money on a piece of land without a house and build your own. Okay, so we have land. It is nowhere near my job, and I cannot commute an hour and 20 minutes. I'm commuting an hour now. North Carolina is a big fucking state. And it's mostly sand and pine trees. And literally every time I go running outside, I literally meme the Star Wars, I hate sand, it's coarse, and it gets everywhere, because I really fucking hate sand. It is coarse, and it fucking gets everywhere. So here's the issue, man. God, I have weird mixed feelings about this. So, my brother brought to my attention shipping container houses, right? Well, my parents are helping us through all this because, they have some wisdom. But it's also, you gotta take that with a grain of salt because they're boomers. So everything always ends with, well, you just gotta buckle down and... After pretty much losing this last job, I talked to my parents, when I was finally got this new job. And they were like, whatever you do, don't tell them all the things that you would tell your YouTube subscribers. And I just went, I never do that. I never take off the mask of sanity around normies. I was like, I just lost because I was a man. That's why. That's why my boss did not like me. And they're like, no, you must have. And it's like, I love them dearly, but you seriously want to, tell them to take their heads out of their 1960s asses sometimes and just recognize that, that's not the way the world... what do they think? 3 police precincts burned down in Minneapolis. Shadow police are sweeping people into fucking vans in Oregon. This is not the 1960s. This is fucking worse. And my dad will go, well, we had the riots. I'm like, it ain't the fucking same. World War II versus Vietnam. Our dudes aren't wearing, our enemies aren't wearing fucking uniforms. Don't even fucking try. Anyway, long story short. They're like, yeah, you should put a manufactured house in the land and live with your brother. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. That would be cost effective. Like, because I could get a mortgage for like $500 a month, which is $300, less than what I'm paying now. And then all that could be sweet, sweet adventure money. And just live in a shitty trailer. I mean, I'm never going to fuck a bitch. I can tell you that much right now. Bitches do not want to be fucked in a trailer. Isn't that great? No matter how ugly they are, even if they're like really dumb, ugly trailer trash, you see it, they go like, I deserve a man who has a Ferrari, and it's like, no, you don't, ho. No, you fucking don't. But you can't tell them that. So I'm done. I'm done trying to explain hoes what they get. Which is why I don't give a shit about my haircut or the way that I dress, because like, it'll never be enough. It'll never be enough. So long story short. You could have to do that, but because of the global warmings, North Carolina is being targeted by an insanely large number of tropical storms. We've had so many, hurricanes come through, and guess what they do to manufactured houses? Yeah. So, and there's also tornadoes in this state. They're more rare, but so we get two choices here. We could get a brick built house. Yeah. Okay. Well, don't exactly have $300,000 lying around. Or, for under $100,000, for just as reliable, we could build a really badass shipping container house, and I could pretend I was living in The Last of Us. The last time that I really thought about this, I ended up watching that episode of Firefly where it shows the history of them finding Serenity. And I almost teared up a little bit, because that was kind of my last hopes and dreams, that I could get a shipping container. Like, my entire life in America has generally just been starting off with all of these hopes and dreams. Because in the 90s, they told you to have hopes and dreams. They're like, yeah, man, when you grow up, you can have blah, And then the tax man, we're gonna call this entity the tax man, instead of calling it what it really is. But I think a lot of you already know what it really is. The tax man comes to the door, and he says, well, no, you can't really have all this. You can have a little bit less. And you go, okay, all right, well, I'll take 90%, that's fine. And then the tax man comes back and, no, 80%. And you're like, all right, okay, all right. And then the tax man comes back and goes, 50%. And you're like, all right. And then you start drinking, and then the tax man is just like, 20%. And you're just wondering when the ass fucking is going to stop. You know what I mean? It's like, you started off life and you think, well, I'll have a, wife and kids and the picket fence, and I'll have the American dream. And then they go, no, feminism. And you're like, oh, okay, well, I can have a slightly less intelligent, woman than me. That's fine. And then they say, no, more fempowerment. And you go, oh, okay, well, I guess I can fuck an ugly girl. I don't give a shit. And they go, no, you just have to be, an incel. Fuck you. And it's like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll just MGTOW and focus on my hopes. No. See, we're not going to pay you. And we got to tax you to make sure that you pay for everyone else's kids who aren't yours. Chad, Thad, Brad, and Daquan. They can all have the kids. You're going to pay for it. It's essentially soft slavery. Don't worry. And I'm like, oh, I guess if I just really focus on spiritual enlightenment and being okay with everything. Okay, we're all going to have tryouts now. So it's a lot like what the Nazis did to the Jews, and anyone who can't compete in this weird, market where we're flooding it constantly with immigrants, both on the low and the high end. The immigrants take all the low-paying jobs when they cross the border from Mexico, and since we don't pay for free college, but fucking India and China does, well, all the doctors can be Indian and Chinese. They can just come in and fuck you that way. And it's basically just like more and more, I've just kept falling back to the point where I'm just like, okay, whenever I die is when I die. I made a mistake at work about a week ago. Turns out it was okay. But in that moment, I had this really comforting thought that I was just like, well, when this goes awry, you got a 12 gauge. You can just kill yourself. And I suddenly relaxed, and I was like, okay, at least we know how it's going to end. Which is why I like shit like The Last of Us. I like absolute, a lot of people complained about number 2 being torture porn. I guess I forgot that I'm kind of a psychopath, and I really enjoy watching people be hurt and self-loathing and pain, and knowing that life is nothing but absolute dog shit. Yep. So that was my last hope. I was just like, well, maybe I can have a shipping container house. Maybe I can just have a cool piece of property that's mine. I can't have anything else, but maybe I can. And then so my old man was like, well, but my old man has a way of attempting to, and I'm going to use this term, Jew you out of whatever it is you want. He's wise in the way of, like, property and like, buying cars and stuff, but you tell him, like I said, hey, gonna need a car for work eventually. My car's actually holding up surprisingly well. Knock on wood. But I'm it's not gonna be able to keep doing this hour commute both ways, you know what I mean? And it's not as fuel efficient. So I was like, hey, let's try to find either a really fuel efficient little sedan with a hatchback, it's like a Honda Fit, Ford Focus, something like that, or let's try to find like a light truck, you know. So he comes back and he's like, I think he just likes to do this for fun. I don't know why he's a faggot, a satanic faggot. He comes back and he's like, well, I found a really cheap. What was it? It was a Cadillac DHS or something? And he's like, you could drive a Cadillac. And I'm just, what the fuck? He just likes to try to find weird, stupid shit. He really likes that. Like, he thinks that, like, a good carry gun would be a 22 LR Snubby. Dead fucking serious. Because he heard it once on a spy movie in the 1940s. Okay, it wasn't alive in the 40s. You know what I mean? He heard it on you know, Duke Silver. No, that's from Parks and Rec. What am I thinking of? What's that one from F is for Family? Colt Luger. You know what I mean? He watched an episode of Colt Luger where the assassin used a 22 LR and he went, oh yeah, and then for the rest of his life decided that was an okay round. I don't know. He's kind of a meme. I love him. But when I talked to him about the shipping container house, that's a long-ass way to tell the story, but I really mean everything I said. When I told him about the shipping container, he was like, well, you know, you can't really because of the zoning laws and because XYZ, the price of rice in China, and I just gave up, and I was like, okay, I don't care. Fuck it. I don't care where I live. I don't give a shit. Just when I die, I die. Okay. Fuck it. You know what I mean? It's like everyone that I've been dealing with professionally has been afraid of the COVID, and I think they turned to me and they said, well, what if you get it? And I just went, worst that happens is you die. And they're just like, I don't think they know how ready I am to not to just yep. So, I really want shipping container house, but I don't know that that's ever going to happen. I don't know, man. We'll see, man. We'll fucking see. Okay, I'm going to scroll back up all the way to the fucking top. Bomb Answer says, how have you been doing with the COVID? How's the gym? Has it changed much since they opened in your area? No, it hasn't. So most gyms in the area haven't opened. Mine is an independent grime gym. I haven't asked, but I'm wondering if they're just doing it in defiance of all the cuckolds. Like everyone else at my work has been like, well, when they reopen the gyms. And I was like, nah, I went to the gym. And I wonder if that wasn't the right thing to say. And I wonder if that's pissing off the Karens, because the Karens are just going to be like, you're going to bring in the COVID. So I try to keep that on the DL now. But yeah, the other day, some guy's like, well, when they reopen the fitness centers, I was like, oh yeah, when they reopen. You know, most of North Carolina has not given a fuck. No one there is wearing a mask. Weird, we should have all gotten COVID by now. I mean, I see everyone there. It's about 100 people. I literally found out the other day that one of the most baller dudes, he's literally a turkey human. He looks like a fucking turkey. He's just a solid ball of meat. He's just swole. He looks like he's a fat guy, but like, he just lifts insane amounts. He lives in my apartment complex. I saw his car the other day, so I'm getting out of it. I want to be like, I didn't know you fucking go there. My neighbor also saw me. You know, he's wearing the gym shirt that says the logo. He points and he's like, oh, yeah, you live here? You know, well, shouldn't we all have gotten COVID? I don't understand. We should have gotten it. It's almost like it doesn't exist. Nature Nerd 1000 says, should make a video at the shooting range. I'm actually gonna do that. I'm gonna pattern in. I think the first video I'm gonna make, because I do have the shotgun shells for it, I'm gonna pattern in that shotgun. So we're gonna do that. Slade Anderson says, say I if you're part of the No Sleep Club. Well, no, I'm not part of the No Sleep Club. I definitely need, unless you're talking about the elite, what do they call it? The sleepless elite, like people who only need 6 hours of sleep a night. I don't think that I'm one of those, but that's what I've been running on for 3 weeks. Tim Taylor says, same. This stream was a random recommendation. Weird. Who knew that YouTube cared? Beyond 87 says, okay, just don't dox me from my Patreon name. I'm not gonna dox you. Why would I do that? I'm not evil. You know what I mean? I don't give a shit. Nature Nerd 1000 says, how open does North Carolina compare to other states? Opened. Pretty open. It's not Florida balls out. I wish it was, but, you know, I mean, it's like you can eat inside of restaurants, but you gotta be social distancing, guys. And if you enter into a 7-Eleven, you need a mask. Most of the time, people don't do it, and I saw a Karen walk into Walmart without a mask yesterday, and nobody stopped her. Nobody gives a shit. Most people are complying with it, but whenever they're working out, people aren't giving a shit. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with wearing a cuck mask in stupid places where beta cucks are gonna be. But at the gym, this is my world, bitch. I don't give a shit. I'm not wearing a fucking mask. Thoth says, damn, you're lucky to have that. I'm saving up all my funds for future land purchases far away from civilization. Well, that's the thing. The land is far away from civilization. It's on industrial farmland in the middle of fucking nowhere. However, it's also in the middle of nowhere. And the thing is I would have to drive an hour and 20 minutes to get to work. I just don't see it fucking happening. But there's a lot of land to purchase in North Carolina. It's a big state. It's the fastest growing state in the union. There's cheap land. It's not quality. You're not going to grow anything on it. It's sand. Tim Taylor says, straight out of Tejas. Don't talk to me about big states. Tejas? Texas. That took me a minute. Tim Taylor says, bruh, it's 5:15 a.m. and I'm hammered. Fuck me. When did you start drinking, Tim? Nature Nerd 1000 says, wow, I didn't know North Carolina had tornadoes. Yeah, we get them. I got a warning during the quarantine about a month in, and it was hide. And I was like, oh, god damn it. I mean, nothing happened, but, Thoth says, just find yourself an ultra-religious chick. She might be batshit crazy, but at least she isn't a feminist and will probably be more faithful. Am I right? Only if she's Muslim. You're thinking of Muslims and Mormons. Christianity has been co-opted by the femtardism a long-ass time ago, which is weird because the Bible literally says a whole bunch of shit about being submissive to your husband. In the New Testament, it even says, you may not deny your husband's sex, which I think is great. Ask how many Christians have dead bedrooms. I bet you it's a lot of them. That's the thing I've always wanted to tell Christians. They're such fake-ass gangsters. I'm really sorry. Their true god is still society, which I think is run by Moloch, which is, look into that shit. You know what I mean? It's they don't actually follow what the Bible says to do. You know what I mean? Otherwise, like I said, they'd be submissive to, but Muslims, on the other hand, they gotta do that shit, because otherwise, in America, you don't really have Sharia law, but, or Mormons, they are truly, can I offend Mormons? I don't get it. Yeah, they're fucking crazy. But hey, man, I had that conversation with my old man. He was like, so you'd have to, pretend like you wear space underwear and shit. And I was like, oh, yeah. Every time she came in the kitchen, I'd be like, yeah, baby, Jesus lives on a planet called Kolob. That's right. And I'd have 9, blonde, blue-eyed fucking children, I guess, or whatever. But here's the issue. That's not how that works, because those women want men who have good dividends, which I don't. So, see, that's the issue. I can't compete with resources because I don't have them. And even if I did, it's not how I want to compete. I want women to fuck me for all that. And if that's not good enough because I'm not Chad, then I guess I lose. Oh, well, that was the only way. I'm playing on a Nuzlocke. That's what I'm trying to explain to all my friends. Yeah, trust me. They're like, you could wear nicer clothes, and shave every day, and actually, groom yourself, have a better haircut. And I'm like, yeah, I used to do that. And yes, I was more successful back then, but for all the soyest cucked reasons. I don't want bitches to want me because they think that my clothing is nice, because they think that I have resources. That's not how we're doing this. I noticed when I went to go visit my friend in Rhode Island, I needed a jacket that was really heavy, and there's an adventure outfitter store. It's the only cool store in North Carolina. It's one of my favorite places to go to, but it's fucking expensive. It's, I get a lot of I got my Mystery Ranch pack there. They have, Arc'teryx shit there. And I picked up a cool jacket because I knew it was going to be fucking cold. Unfortunately, that jacket was really expensive and not super warm. It's warm. It's nicely made. But it wasn't $200 worth of warmth. I could have bought a, $50 Carhartt jacket and been just as fucking warm. I don't know why. I just thought that the money meant that it was from, a superior material, I mostly bought it because I thought it jived well with my green hoodie from North Face. I'm actually going to review the jacket. I'm not even making that up. I have footage of me playing around in the snow. We fucked off to Connecticut, and Connecticut is so insanely fucking cold that I almost died. But that was because I didn't have enough protection on my legs. Anyway, long story short, when I got off in Boston, and I got on a train to go get picked up by my buddy, and on the train, some cutie tried to start a weird conversation with me, and I literally knew, because she sees the cool logo on my jacket, KUHL, she knows it's an expensive jacket, because that's the new thing, which I really fucking hate. The new flex is outdoor stuff, and everyone wants to play outdoors. So they're trying to commodify the outdoors and make it about the vagina. No, the outdoors is not about the vagina. If I spend a shit ton of money on black diamond gear, it's because I'm trying to do an extreme sport like rock climbing. I don't give a shit if bitches like it because, ooh, it means money. I'm not going to spend money on you, hoe. Okay? You a stupid hoe. You a stupid hoe. No, you a stupid hoe. Okay, anyway. Oh, and also, more faithful. Are you fucking... These hoes ain't loyal. Come on, get out of here, man. Beyond87 says, Stoy, can you confirm that you got the donation? It renews tomorrow. I don't want to accidentally pay 2 times right away. Oh, fuck. No, because yeah, maybe I can. And I need to look up, I got a little black book here, my little Rhodia notebook filled with all my passwords. No, I'm not making that up. Okay, so, that one. I hate logging into Patreon, though, because it's so... It's so depressing because people, like, all my fans will donate, like, $1 for, like, 3 months, like... And then they'll go, you're a faggot. And then just, like, take the $1 back. And I'm like, bro, was the dollar really breaking you? Like, I know I wasn't, doing anything, but I'm trying to survive. I promise I want to entertain you. Like, I don't have anything else in my life. Like, I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have all I have is my job, my gym, but those things must come first, and for obvious reasons, bro. Okay. No, get the fuck out of here, Chrome. Okay, no, I cannot log in because it's saying that there was a data breach on the site and I have to change my password and confirm my phone, and I can't do it on here or it's going to crash the stream, I promise you. So I'm very sorry about that. Just get charged twice. Or just take it back and then add it on there tomorrow or whenever. I got to call work and get my schedule. Do not forget that, asshole. Tim Taylor says, and eventually you settle for a cardboard box. Indeed. Yep. And then, but see, if you're homeless, then they'll just sweep you into a prison. So eventually, you'll just get ass raped, which is something that our society makes fun of. We laugh at men getting raped. You're actually more likely in America to be raped if you're a man than a woman because of our insanely high incarceration rate. This is fine. This is okay. This is the American dream. Why do you think people go crazy and shoot people? I can't understand why. It's such a great system. The real Jimmy says, don't kill yourself. Cool. I'll keep that in mind when I've lost everything and there's no reason to keep going. I'm not trying to be emo. Like, right now the ship is still afloat, but, like, anytime it could still go sideways, doo-doo. Tim Taylor says, society is fucked when individuals find peace in suicidal thoughts. I'm there with you, brother. Yeah. Yeah, it's just like, well, at least it's very Japanese, though. It's very Yukio Mishima. It's very, well... At least I know how it's going to end. You know what I'm saying? Churchill Bhatia says, just found out I passed my undergraduate university degree after 5 years of 3-course law. Praise Jesus. I'm right there with you, man. Kappa says, did you change your opinion on Last of Us 2? Kind of. I talked about this earlier in the stream. I can't go back and reiterate. Tim Taylor says, F is for Family is a great show. It was. I tried to watch the last season, and I found it was just completely unfunny. You either live long enough to see yourself become the villain, or you die a hero. Church Mail Patia says, Bill Burr is my dad. Oh, geez. Tim Taylor says, no owl gods for me. Yeah, well, unfortunately, our leaders like that owl god a whole lot. Maybe there's something we can do to make them not be leaders anymore. You know? Thoth says, just move to the UK. It'll be Sharia law over here in a few years. Word. Thoth says, I'm sure you already know about surplus wool military jackets and pants. Pretty cheap and very warm. So surplus, they're not cheap anymore. And I would know about that because I used to have a Swiss Army jacket. Like, you know that my old, you've seen my old getup. Military used to be cheap. And now there's a high demand for it because hipsters gonna hipster, and they drove the price up. So whereas that, because I had to rebuy that wool jacket because a dog ate a couple of holes into it, I just decided, fuck it, I'll just buy another one. I know they mass-produced them. Originally it was $11 at an Army surplus store. 10 years later, it was a $60 jacket. I'm sure if I looked now, it would be, all right, fucking, let's actually, I'm going to look on eBay. Okay. 54. 49. That's not bad. Here's one for 30. Okay. Maybe I'm fucking wrong. But I don't know. I wanted something more state-of-the-art. My style these days is a lot more like, it's kind of lame, but like polymer. Like I wear a lot more workout gear. You know, I do a lot more like outdoor stuff. So like, you know, I wear a lot of North Face and Columbia stuff. You know, that kind of thing. Cat Bus says, outdoors is not about the vagina. Yeah, it fucking isn't. Like, I don't like the fact that, like, all of these, like, Arc'teryx and Cool have, like, basically made it, like, some sort of flex. And it seems like the market is adjusting so that hiking isn't really a poor man's, like, you know, a pleasure anymore. And I'm like, no, we're not commodifying the outdoors. We're not going to start charging fucking cover charge to get into a club that is a mountain. We're not fucking doing that. If you try that shit, like, okay, get ready to get scalped, because I'm going to scalp you. I'm going to be naked when I fucking do it. King K. Ripple says, at least you guys in America can go out with the pull of a trigger. In the UK, you have to either OD on pills or jump off a cliff. You guys have cliffs? I thought it was flat. And make a real mess for the emergency services to clean up. Yeah, well, you can always do an exit bag if you can get your hands on helium. 132 Oink says, just use your registered assault spoon. Yeah, pretty much. Tim Taylor says, what's your thoughts on cottagecore? I think it's just normies fetishizing a lifestyle they know nothing about. That's probably right. But they're right to fetishize it, so I understand. It's going to be harder than they think it is. But I can understand why people would fetishize that. Look how awful the modern world is. Reject modernity. 132 Oink says, and buy your spoonicide license. Oh, yeah, you do have to go buy a spoon. Where's your license? It's actually license. L-O-I-C. King K. Ripple says, seriously, though, Tolstoy, try to keep chugging along for as long as you can, if for no other reason than to say, fuck you, to the great abyss that will eventually claim us all. Dude, I'm on that. I'm not trying to be emo and, like, go, like, I'm gonna kill it, but, like, that's every single day. It's hard to fucking wake up, like, living in America in this dystopian fucking nightmare. Like, it's hard to fucking keep going. Every day is a mental health struggle. But that's the way it is. My last little, like, bastion of hope was that I would be able to, like, essentially the only reason I'm living now, or, like, what I'm trying to hold on to now, the thing that I can control. It reminds me a little bit of what the Dr. Elliot Reed said in the drama Scrubs, when she's like, you know, when I was in middle school, whatever, I cut my bangs. I didn't even think it looked good, but back then it was the only thing I can control. It's like, yeah, I have no control in America over my own destiny. I think the only thing that I can control are possibly my actions during the boog. So that's why I'm training so hard for it, and it's the only thing I'm really holding out hope is that, like, I can do some cool shit in the boog. Hence why, unfortunately, although I don't really wish that I could be spending money on assault rifles, I probably am going to spend that money on the assault rifle. I wish I could buy climbing gear. I wish, but, like, so what? What, am I going to get to go climbing? Really? Oh, I'll be able to take a vacation and go to wherever? Yosemite? I don't think so. Probably not. They'll say, well, where's your, you have to have, you know, show that you have $3,000 in the bank, you know, to get on a plane now. And I'll say, why? And they'll say systems of control. Or they'll say no, because, you know, because reasons, you know. And all the Karens will go, that's weird. And all the old, you know, sloppy hoes will say, well, you know, you're a man. You should have $10,000 to take care of my baby that I have another man. This is like, I'm not even, like, life is now a fucking bad parody. Tim Taylor says, naked scalping is the best kind of scalping. Indeed. L. Sweaty says, hey, Tolstoy. Nature Nerd 1000 says, in the long term, things should get better since a lot of manufacturing is returning to the U.S., and Trump is improving our immigration policies. 250 miles of wall has been built so far. I don't know. I've heard that that's a myth and that he hasn't built shit. I'm not sure. I wonder if he's controlled opposition. I don't know, man. I hope that it does. I hope that there's a non-violent way out of this. I really hope that enough baby boomers just die off and maybe like more positions open up and the economy slowly improves and maybe we can just have like something akin to like the second half of Rome, like the Byzantine expansion or whatever, where like the old Rome died off, but like Byzantium kind of kept going for like a few hundred years. That's what I'm hoping for. Beyond 87 says, that was sarcasm, right? Tim Taylor says, growing up it feels like building a family was part of being human. Guess not. Yeah, right. So we're not even like really allowed to be human. Like, fuck. Anyway, and it does take a toll on you mentally. The Real Jimmy says, it's not an assault rifle, by the way. I don't know what we're talking about. An AK? Well, it's not... It's not a... Yes, I understand. It's semi-automatic. I'm just using that as a common term. 132 Oink says, when you decide to build a structure on your property, it is cheaper to go with a prefab construction rather than making one from shipping containers. Yeah, but it won't hold up as well as shipping containers. Like, we've had 9 hurricanes that were off-season in the last year. 9. It was a surplus. It was 9 more than we usually get. 9. Do you know how many of those manufactured houses were destroyed? Like, so what? I'm just going to have to rebuild my house for 3 years? After the first time, I probably won't have the money to rebuild it. This is America. You don't get second chances. Like, I'm not rich, so... I'm gonna do chest and tris today. Oh, what was that new tricep exercise I learned? So, I wish I could remember it. And then he says shipping containers rust. They're made of aluminum. Aluminum does not rust as fast as you think it does. Yeah, they do rust, but there's probably some kind of coating that they put on that to make sure that that doesn't happen. Obviously, people do it. I am not the only person to have had this thought. Just like looking at, you can buy prefab houses on Amazon, though, from $5K to $20K. They are not trailers. Well, trailer is what I'm looking at anyway. And it doesn't matter. They're still going to be destroyed by a fucking hurricane. Anything that isn't brick-built in a direct hurricane blast is going to receive damage. It's going to drive up the fucking, insurance rates. Probably to the point where I won't be able to afford to live there. Even if it's like industrial shitbag farmland. That's actually really something that's been happening, really. That was another way that usury that was planned to destroy the American people is, and I can't remember exactly, but you'd have to if I could remember what it was. Essentially, the banks were in with the real estate agencies, and they were raising, or maybe it was with the, what's it called? The insurance agencies. They were raising the insurance or the property values on beachside property due to hurricanes until the people who were not rich couldn't afford to live there, and they had to sell to the bank, and the bank takes their house, you know what I mean, or sell. I forget. Yeah, they had a default on their mortgage. The bank takes the house, and then they sell it to someone who's richer, and they sell it at a better price, or some shit like that. I forget. It's all fucking rigged. Wink says, that's why I said concrete. You're not going to find a cheaper concrete construction than you are a metal construction, a thin metal construction. I don't think that's pretty. I don't get it. Tim Taylor says, this is America. You don't get second chances. Carve that on my gravestone. Yeah, this country's hard on people. Thoth says, honestly, the end of society is coming. Power grid's going to shut down, global computer virus, something is going to destroy our infrastructure, and then all the feminists will be crying for a man to save them. Oh, yeah, I'm waiting for that. I'm going to eat so many human beings. I'm probably going to die, in the first... and I really truly had a very, very realistic... There's every so often I have these thoughts, and they're just very powerful, true thoughts that I know are, real. when playing, and if you ever get the chance to see I'm Alive, it was Last of Us before Last of Us was Last of Us, but I think it was either EA or Ubisoft fucked it up because they acquired the rights to it and then made the publisher or made the developers go to publish really quick so that they could make their gold, their shekels. And it needed more time to be developed, but it was a very similar, end of day style thing, and it was such a difficult game because of it. And I remember there was a point where you essentially get a chance to eat people, and it really gives you the bump. You need it. You need it to survive. And if you it's going to be a really hard game if you don't. And I broke, and I ate the people. And the thing is I remember all my young adult life, I always thought I will never fucking eat people. I'd rather starve to death. And that was the point in video games that broke me. And I was just like, I guess I would eat people if I was hungry enough. And I realized I admitted it to myself. Unlike everyone else, I don't hide. I don't pretend to be something I'm not. So I was just like, I guess I would eat people if I had to. And I had another one of those moments playing Last of Us 2 where I took out a couple of soldiers and then their dog bit my neck and killed me. And I said to myself, if that's how you go down in the Boogaloo, that's not terrible. I'm okay with that. And I realized, you're serious. If you kill two of them, whoever they are, and then they kill you back, at least you got two. That's economical, I guess. That is the last hope that I have for my life. You know what I mean? It's I can't have a house, I can't have a wife, I can't have kids, can't have a dog, I can't have freedom, can't have adventure, can't have spirituality, can't have drugs, can't have anything. But maybe I can kill a couple of faggots in the Boogaloo. Ancient One says, Tolstoy, you watch Andrew Camarata? I do not. Nature Nerd 1000 says, should make building in a hurricane zone's reinforced concrete. Again, they're not going to let, and there's probably some zoning laws against that because it's not pretty or, whatever. I don't know. Nobody here is doing it, so I assume that there's a fucking reason. The Real Jimmy says, what's your thoughts on the BLM movement? I don't think I'm allowed to talk about that. As a white man, I can't talk about that because I have too much. I acknowledge my privilege. So, but, I support them totally. And, hey, guys, quick note, if you're BLM, probably stop desecrating the graves of black war heroes. Probably stop doing that and stop desecrating the graves of abolitionists. It looks bad. If you could also stop killing black people in their home when you riot, it looks bad. I mean, because your movement is called Black Lives Matters, not Kill Old Black Men. That's weird to do. You look like you're doing the job of the cops for them. It's not a good look. Maybe try to improve. Thoth says, the crazed cannibal route, always an option. Yeah. 132 Oink says, I'm Alive was screwed over. That's one where you have to pick up individual bullets, right? Yep, you only get one fucking shot, man. And most of the time you have to use it as a bluff. Yeah, and it is in black and white. Yep. I got that off of Steam, and my computer played it okay. I tried to see if I could do a video review for you guys, but once again, OBS didn't want to work. I don't know how to fix it. That's something else I think I should probably invest in, as a way better PC. That way we can probably have, I can do better stuff for you guys. Tim Taylor says, Season M, right? Human could probably taste... Season M, right? Human could probably taste pretty Gucci. Well, I hear it tastes like pork, so it's probably good anyway. Ostriches and Gin says, why exactly can't you have a home? Move somewhere cheap and buy something with 2 or 3 units and rent some of it out. Okay, that's not how this works. Because in America, if it's cheap, it means it's literally nowhere near your job. Okay, and then if you try to commute, you're putting wear and tear on your car. Cars aren't cheap, and no one is selling their old cars anymore because the economy is so destroyed. All right, if you are close to your job, it costs way too fucking much. I'm in a weird sweet zone, but it's just barely squeaking by. Honestly, you sound like a fucking boomer. If you don't understand, I feel like you're kind of a boomer. Or maybe you're just a successful millennial, but you're like the 1% of us. And to be perfectly honest, when the boog happens, anyway, good luck. Good luck, bro. If we rent out 2 to 3. So I'm going to move to the middle of the country and rent people room. No one's looking to rent in the middle of the fucking country where they also won't be close to their jobs. Where do you think is this, urban environment where everything is, cheap? Is it Detroit? Because in that case, I'm going to die. No one wants to live there for a reason. It's a bad fucking trifecta. If there was some kind of solution, I think we would have found it by now. We would all be aware of it. And honestly, North Carolina kind of is that solution, but don't tell nobody that because property values are going up. My rent keeps increasing. It was cheap to live here when I got here, and then all the baby boomers fucking retired here, and so now they built these big-ass slammer condos right next to me, and, yeah, they're really nice, and I walk past them every day when I walk to the gym, and now it's urbanizing, so my ass has to leave. How long when I, for the cheap, if I move somewhere cheap, it is cheap here! Nothing pays enough to live! I'm just now making enough to live, and, we'll see. Because it's hell on my gas tank. Jessica Miller says, do you consider yourself a socialist? I know you've said before that your viewpoint keeps evolving. No, I don't consider myself a socialist. Socialism doesn't fucking work. I understand that they have certain points. I agree with their points that late-stage capitalism is a lot like Soviet Russia. Well, that's not even their point. Their point is that late-stage capitalism sucks. And I'm like, yeah, well, it sucks as bad as a communist system, so they're both fucking wrong. Ancient Citizen 1 says, Andrew Camarate made some video building a kick-ass shipping container castle on a big piece of property in northern New York, I think. Pretty cool stuff. I will look into that. Tim Taylor says, if it's cheap, it's fucking slums and will be killed by a crackhead. Exactly. Yeah, and it's not going to be a place where I can carry a gun. So, yeah, you can move to Detroit, and then all the gangsters have guns because they don't care because their life is shit, and I won't be able to carry a gun, so I'm going to get raped. Yeah, pass on that. And if you live in the country, it's cheap, but there are no fucking jobs. Like, what do you think I'm going to do, be a farmer? Yeah, well, they're struggling right now, too, because big industrial farmland fucks everyone else over. Ostriches and Gin says, Bakersfield has jobs and duplexes for $180K. If you don't gotta live in a city with 1 million plus people, 180,000? Okay, that's way above my price range. I'm looking at things under 100,000. Yeah, 180,000. Ooh, big spender. Oh, that's cheap, guys. That's cheap. God, this country is shit. 132 says work remotely. Oh, I'll do that. Yeah, I'm sure they need me to. Yeah. And also, did you say Bakersfield, California? Ah, there you go. That explains it. Well, that's California. I would rather be castrated than move to that shithole state. I honestly hope in the Boogaloo every single person there you get what you fucking deserve. Okay, it's gonna be interesting when all the states that you require for water go and turn off your water. Once we get rid of the Electoral College and all the rural areas that produce all of your food and water can't get their voices heard, they're gonna go and turn off all the states. New York's gonna Manhattan is going to turn into. It's gonna make the division look like a fucking square dance. And I was actually explaining this to a girl at a party recently, where I was like, okay, look how things worked for the first Civil War. The industrial areas that were the North bullied the rural areas of the South. The rural areas were producing the food, but the northern areas had industry. Now it's the population-dense areas want to bully the rural areas, but the population-dense areas don't even have fucking industry. We shipped it all over to China. And if we do have industry now, it's out in the middle of fucking nowhere. Car manufacturing is like because we can reach long distances now with our cars. So if you work at a car plant, it's not happening in Cadillac Heights, baby. You're making those cars in in the middle of Arizona. So what do the cities have besides soy? They produce a lot of soy. Yeah. So what do they got? They got guns? No. Oh, okay. Well, do they have industry? Do they make things? Nope. All factories are made in the middle of nowhere now. Oh. So you produce nothing but Hollywood movies, and you're going to bully the people who make all of your food and water? Oh, I can't see where that's ever going to go wrong. Tim Taylor says Merle Haggard and Korn is from Bakersfield. Good to know. Ostriches and Gin says, meh, my bro has a gun and was easy to get. Yeah, it has a 10-round magazine capacity. Well, no. First of all, I'm never going to live in a state where there is not AK-47s. I'm dead serious. Fuck that. That's a great litmus test. The Real Jimmy says, also, I would just move to Alaska. Like, that's more equitable. And that's actually my plan in the end. But I have to spend a little bit more time at the place that I'm working now. So we'll see. And I need more training, obviously. Not at my job, at survival. Yeah, everyone, and so the Real Jimmy says, I'm from that bullshit state, and I hate California. Yeah, everyone who's from there hates it. Kern County gives CCW, but still avoid California. Man, is all my fans from... Oh, wait a second. It should be... oh my god, you guys didn't go to sleep. It's like 3 a.m. for you. No wonder. Nature Nerd 1000 says, this pandemic has made me more libertarian by the day. The government should never determine what is essential or not. The economy and people's income is people's health, not the other way around. Yep. And I'm going to stack upon that. I'll jump on the socialist train for a minute. We should nationalize Walmart. Walmart, among many other businesses, received preferential treatment from the Gubby. Therefore, it should be the property of the Gubby, in the same way that Amtrak is run by the Gubby. Okay? They should not be a private organization. They should not be allowed to make private dollar bills for the Walton family. They profiteered off of closing. Yeah, that's fascism. It's straight up. We destroyed millions of small businesses, but Walmart got to stay open. And I say that what we should do, honestly, and I would organize with the Antifa, whatever the fuck, for this. We should just be until they nationalize Walmart, there should be a one Walmart a day should have a fire drill for safety, until these cocksuckers get it together and nationalize it. Fuck it. They should work for us now. That's just me, though. I saw this really awesome video on Brandon Herrera's channel. Oh, yeah. Stretchy. Where, see, like, my playbacks just reached 151. Okay, that's the original Pokemon. Cool. But I don't see that number every single, day. The dude who was running the Not Fucking Around Coalition was trying to explain why they had a negligent discharge that put 3 people in the fucking hospital, and he picks up an AR-15 and he calls it something else. I don't know what he calls it. He's like, this is the MK-27. And I'm like, well, we're already off to a good start. And he's like, it's a bullpup. I'm like, it's not. And he's like, it's called a bullpup because it kicks. It'll knock you down. I was like, the recoil on that is not very hard, and it's also not a bullpup. You're wrong. And he basically demonstrates the fact that you can return the bolt to battery after an empty magazine by taking the butt of the stock of an M16 and knocking it on the ground or whatever. But that would not cause a negligent discharge. Jesus, tap dancing Christ. God damn, bro. The NFAC did a massive disservice to all black people who are in the gun community. So on behalf of the NFAC, I apologize for their privilege, for their retard privilege. They get retard privilege. And I apologize to black people who just know how guns work. I'm super sorry, guys. To Colion Noir, which, by the way, when are we going to do a crossover, Colion? I know that you watch my channel. I'm just fucking kidding. Everyone's like, is he for real? Because, like, Cutlery Lover used to watch my channel. We used to be friends. We used to talk. He used to comment on videos now and again a long time ago. I wish I knew Colion Noir. Oh, well. Jessica Miller says, do you think big tech or external threats like China or Iran will kill us first? It's entirely possible, but I don't know. 132 Oink says, I hope that we can... Woo. Oh. Must have been a bug. I saw something moving. Getting paranoid. Says, I hope that we can at least get our cyberpunk future after this. No, I don't fucking want cyberpunk future. I want Last of Us future. What's wrong with you, bro? Oh, my cheese and my chakras just fucking lined. Alright, probably gonna wind it down. Probably gonna grab another cup of coffee and go to the gym. And oh my gosh, his name is Anti-Citizen1. I've been fucking up this entire time. I found Cutlery Lover through YouTube a long time ago. There you fucking go, man. Isn't that crazy as cat shit? Stoy, what do you think about this Die Hard reboot? They were going with a female protagonist. Of course they are. Of course they are. Well, I guess they don't like money. Tim Taylor says, 2020, making it hard not to be racist. I'm not racist. I'm apologizing to black people on behalf of the NFAC. Like, I don't think it's because they're black. I think it's because they're fucking retards. You know what I mean? 132 Oink says, Last of Us Future is so 2013. Well, I like 2013. The Real Jimmy says, good morning, by the way. Good morning. Tim Taylor says, probably shouldn't say that. Probably shouldn't say what? That I'm apologizing for their retard privilege? They have retard privilege. No one makes fun of them because it would be insensitive to make fun of retards. My question is why are we giving them guns though? Like, they probably shouldn't get them. Not because they're black, but because they're mentally handicapped. Just saying. And also, where are their handlers? Like, shouldn't they have, like, their mom there with a juice box? Survival genre is played out. It's not fucking played out, bro. Don't fucking say it's played out, bro. Would live, I think would live is what he says, but I think love a Kalyan Noir crossover. Yeah, me too. So all you go into his channel and tell him about Tolstoy. He'll watch one of my videos and be like, the fuck? Alright. I think that's it. I wanted to give you guys a quick update. Wanted to throw this out there. More videos are coming. Good content is actually coming. Huh. Yeah. Alright, guys. I'll catch you on the flip side.